Hey everyone, this is Borvak. We're gonna see. I was gonna say I might be a little lower key today due to some stuff that's been going on, but listen to me. I turn on the camera, we're gonna escape into a comic, and I sound as chipper as ever if I do say so myself. I want to cover Batman issue number 45. I know Yellow Flash covered this, and I haven't seen his video. He always does great stuff. So I might come to a totally different conclusion than he does, but that's the fun of this. I was in the comic book store the other day. I went on Thursday instead of Wednesday. I couldn't make it Wednesday, worked late. But they still had most of what I wanted. And I had to pick this up because it's Batman. He's scowling. Oh, I didn't notice that. That's beautiful. Look at that. The clouds. He's got the bats up here. He's hunching over the clouds and the bat symbol in the sky over just the red city and the reflection. That's gorgeous. But it's Batman, and he says Booster Gold must die. And I need to know what that's about. So we're going to find out. I actually recorded this video already earlier today. I mean, surprise, I'm recording this video during daylight hours. It's crazy. The other one was even earlier. I actually made it during my lunch break recording it. And that umbrella guy left a really great comment on my last video, and it got me thinking that maybe I need to start working on being more concise, making shorter videos, getting to my point quicker. But that video I recorded earlier today, I tried to be shorter, and it just came off it didn't come off well. I felt like I was rushing myself. It probably would sound and look like I was rushing myself, and I don't want that. So if what you guys want is shorter videos, I'm going to have to work on that. But we're going to have to work on it more organically instead of forcing myself. So we're just going to see how long this video takes. Hopefully, over time, I can become quicker and better. But for now, quality over quantity, at least when it comes to how I discuss the comic I'm reviewing. But that said, let's jump in. This is a pretty short ramble intro so far, and we get straight to Hal Jordan. And this, I thought of Ethan Van Sciver as soon as I saw this. I always think of him when I see Green Lantern now. So this is really good art. It's obviously not Ethan Van Sciver. This is actually a Tom King book, of course. I've read some of his Batman stuff, um, but I haven't read a lot of the issues leading up to this one. And who's doing the art? Does it say? It's Tony S. Daniel. I don't know him. You experts, you probably do know. So let me know. He's good. The art in this book is good. But anyway, it's Hal Jordan, and he's talking about how his ring is run on willpower. And basically, if you have willpower and you're bearing a ring, you can do whatever you want with it. Now, the ring is supposed to keep you from harming yourself, but if you just force it full of your willpower and you really, really, really will to harm yourself, you can do just that. And Hal Jordan, nobody has more willpower than Hal Jordan. And he says, you want to see? Do you dare me? Yeah, you dare me. And he blasts himself in the face. And this part I actually missed the first time I read the comic. I just saw this and I thought, oh, this is just the title for the. I actually read this book twice or maybe even three times, and I didn't notice this. This is not just the credits page. This is important to the story. Diversity in comics would like this. This isn't a wasted page. But you see there in the reflection, Hal Jordan. That's pretty gruesome. He hits himself right in the face with that power, and there he's falling. So first of all, I was curious, what's going on with Batman wanting to kill anyone, let alone wanting to kill Booster Gold. I mean, Booster Gold, I know he's a character, but what's going on here? Then you see this with Hal Jordan, and you're reading it one panel at a time, and you say, okay, that's cool. All right, what's he talking about? What? Huh? This there's something I want to know even more what's going on now because this is messed up. Well, this isn't right. Um, but we got Booster Gold, and I don't really understand. I think that Tom King is from what I've read of his Batman, he has almost this poetic style to it. You either like it or you don't like it, and it's not so much. From what I've read, again, I don't mean this as a put down. It's not bad, but it's poetic, but it's almost less of a flow of conversation and more of a back and forth of these little tidbits of thought processes that kind of play off of each other and again go back and forth, and it's almost poetic. And I don't know if this is Tom King or if this is Booster Gold, but the flow to it is just really weird. He says, "Woo, that was dot 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 intense period, seriously intense period, but dot dot dot, also admittedly a little bit or kind of dot 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 awesome." So he just saw Hal Jordan potentially kill himself, and this is his reaction to it. I don't know. This is weird. I don't know about that. That's but he talks about how he needs to go find Batman, so we're wondering why that is. And then we skip over to this page and we see Tim Drake, that's who it is, and he's sitting in an office and some guy is talking to him about some guy shooting a lady and some jokers. So the Gotham City, in whatever reality this is, has a problem with not just one Joker but multiple Jokers. Thank goodness, I'm sure they're not all the Joker, probably a lot of knockoffs, but still problematic. And that just seems like a horrible place to live. And you got Tim Drake, and I don't know if he's Robin or not, but he's just sitting there in an office building. This doesn't seem like a good world to live in. So I don't know why Booster Gold, at this point in the story, we don't know why Booster Gold is looking for Batman, but Bat Signal is broken. He's going to use Skeet to send up a bat symbol, see if he can get Batman to come, and bang, he gets hit. We don't know yet who hits him, so we got to turn the page. Skeet says, "Hey, Batman's here," and Booster Gold says, "Okay, good. Did Batman get the guy who shot me?" And he says, "No, sorry. Unfortunately, Batman is the guy who shot you." So they fight. There's a little bit of a fight. We don't need to see all that. DC Nation advertisement for that. They're really playing up, in Tom King's book, they're really playing up the marriage between Batman and Catwoman, and this has me worried a little bit. I don't know how I feel about the marriage between Batman and Catwoman. I love them as a couple, but there's some complications to it, and just the way it's been playing out in the book, it almost feels like I'm starting to think they're overplaying it and they're stalling so that they can break it before it happens. And on the one hand, I don't know how I feel about how they're handling the marriage, but on the other hand, I don't know how I'd feel about how them just breaking it off before it happened after putting everyone through everything with it. So I can go into my thoughts on that deeper later. It's not really relevant to the current issue we're talking about, so I'll skip past it for now, but it's interesting. We go back to Jason Todd, and again, this whole issue feels like kind of a fill-in. It fits in with the story, but this is just kind of wacky. I don't know. So he's invented a brand of tire that apparently, if a Joker is trying to steal your tires, which I guess Jokers do, I don't know, if he wants to steal my tires, I mean, and that's all he wants, I guess he can have them. Rather give him my tires than have him kill me or something. But on the other hand, if the Joker wants something, do you really want to give it to him? What's he going to do with it? Who's he going to hurt with it? You don't want to trust this guy. And I don't know. mental illness haircut on the Joker. I don't know. That's kind of a weird Joker. I don't know about that guy. But Jason Todd being his brutal self, I guess, but with tires. This is a weird reality. So we've got some more stuff. We don't really Skeet Skeets and Booster Gold just talk to each other. They're looking for Batman, and we get to, yeah, here's this. I talked about this. This has got the Flash war. This feels like clickbait to me. We've got, there can only be one fastest man alive. DC Universe. I don't know these guys, but the art's good. But I mean, sure, there can only be one fastest man alive. Otherwise, if there were two of them, they would be the fastest men alive instead of the fastest man. I mean, that's just how English or most likely any language works. But there can be multiple speedsters, and these two guys, I don't see them as being the egotistical types. These are the self-sacrificing types. Barry wouldn't mind if Wally was faster than him. Wally wouldn't mind if Barry was faster than him. They might both want to get better than the other as a measurement of increasing their own strength. But, I don't know. This feels like clickbait for some reason. That's just, these guys aren't going to fight each other over who's fastest. They're going to team up and they're going to get the bad guys. But we'll see. I don't know. It feels like unnecessary drama. But anyway, Booster Gold was looking for Batman. Batman hangs him up on a gargoyle and he says, "Hey, listen, I need you to tell me," he says, "I need you to tell me who else is coming with you. What other superheroes there are with you," which of course it's just Booster Gold, but Batman doesn't know that. He says, "If you tell me, I'll kill you quickly instead of slowly." So obviously we know this is a different Batman, or at least a different different universe, different something, because oh my goodness, look, he's decked out there. That's Bat Murderer right there. Oh my goodness, crazy. But just going back, and Batman says something, I don't know where it is on this page, but he basically says, if you're a superhero and you're in Gotham, I need to kill you because all the superheroes are getting turned in, or it's implied, all the superheroes, and maybe people too, I don't know, but superheroes are getting turned into Jokers, and I can't have a superpowered Joker running around. So basically, I need to kill you before you turn. And that's apparently, if I can skip back again, that's apparently what this is all about. And we will learn that later. Yes, that's what this is actually. This is Hal Jordan. He's Jokerified. He's crazy. That's why he's doing this. So that's kind of understandable. I don't know how I feel about, obviously, Batman wants to avoid having a superpowered Joker running around, but is it really right to kill someone, to murder someone for a crime he hasn't even committed yet? I don't think so. But this is a different Batman, and not only is it a different Batman, it's not a different Bruce Wayne either. It is a completely different Batman, because Skeet says facial recognition. This is Dick Grayson, not Bruce Wayne. So this is not the Batman you're looking for. Wave. So Booster Gold has to go find the other Batman. But I mean, if Skeet must have really good facial recognition, because they have a lot of sci-fi sort of technology in the DC universe, even in just Gotham City itself, and none of those people have figured out who Batman is yet. So Skeet must have some amazing, or maybe just Skeet is from the future. They already know who Batman and Dick Grayson are, and therefore already have their facial scans on file. I guess no one in modern times, even with good, modern DC times, no one's going to have Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson's facial scans on file as suspects, whereas the people in the future are. So Booster Gold breaks free. He doesn't need this Batman, so he's out of there. Skeet helps him out. And we've got an advertisement for Justice League No Justice, which I don't know how I'm going to feel about this story, but I really like this art. You've got characters you wouldn't expect together, which, is always interesting. Or it can be interesting anyway. You got, Starro, Superman, I'm blanking, but Martian Manhunter, that looks like Sinestro. My phone always wants to refocus on this page. But what I like about this art is that it's the coloring is very interesting. I wouldn't want to see this everywhere. I like the colors to pop, but it is interesting, at least for this promo, to see all these characters. They have different colored costumes in reality, but on this page, they're colorized to make them all fit together. It looks like there's a very purple hue here, there's a blue hue here, another purple hue on this image, and then kind of a red hue on this image. So I don't think they're necessarily actually changing the color of the costumes, but what they are doing is almost changing the color of the lighting that's illuminating the costumes and the characters. And that it just makes them more uniform, even though they're not really more uniform. Their uniforms are not more uniform, but the lighting kind of puts them all together and brings them together while differentiating them from the three other different teams. So this will be interesting, seeing characters that don't necessarily interact with each other, let alone teaming up. So I'll be maybe looking out for this one. We'll see. Oh, Scott Snyder. I didn't notice that before. Dark Knight's Metal was just the beginning. No Justice. I do like Scott Snyder, I think. We'll see. That'll be interesting. But I'm sorry, getting back to the story. We've got something here. I don't really know a lot about what's this guy's name? It says Duke. I don't know a lot about Duke. Is he a Batman guy? He's got like a scar there, and he's getting congratulated for putting food in his mouth and drooling. So I don't know what the implication is there. His brain was taken out or something. But this is obviously, again, this is kind of a messed up version of Batman's world. But you got Bruce Wayne. He's dancing with his mom. He's complimenting her. And here comes, just like a loving son would do. Maybe a little over the top for a loving son, but he's a really loving son. You got Booster Gold breaking through, and he says, "Hey, Batman." Bruce Wayne. Oh my goodness, he's an idiot. Oh, you break into Bruce Wayne's home and you call him Batman out of costume. Skeet, how do you even let this guy out of the house? Ugh. Hey, Bruce Wayne, I got a present for you. And that's what he's been saying all along. I didn't cover that, but he's looking for Batman because he wants to give him a present. We don't know what it is. But we skip over to this page. Talia al Ghul is saying to Raish, yes, Raish, saying that she is going to take over the League of Shadows from him one day, but she is not going to get married. She's not going to provide offspring for the family name because there's no man who's worthy of her. Which I guess that means if Bruce Wayne is not Batman, which he appears not to be, is he the only one worthy of her? That's kind of sad in this world, but it's kind of also sad for the regular world because I don't really see a future where they end up together. This is also I'll take this as a snide or an indictment against the Arrow series. I don't like the Arrow TV show with the whole Oliver Queen race and all that stuff. So I'll accept this personally. I'll choose to see this as an insult against that show because she's not going to choose Oliver Queen. But not that Oliver Queen isn't a good guy. But again, maybe something, we don't see Oliver Queen in this. Maybe he's going to. Maybe they're both not available. Bruce Wayne, Oliver Queen. She's just all out of choices. Maybe that's it. We find out, again, reminded Bendis is coming. So be ready for that, I suppose. And this is the part, this is where we figure out we figure out what's going on. Booster Gold tells Batman that there was a time when Superman was tricked into, basically he was hypnotized or he was tricked into thinking that he was still on Krypton, that Krypton was not destroyed, and he had his whole life on Krypton that he lived. And apparently he found out in that story that Krypton wasn't as good as he thought it was, or that he always thought it would be. And so because he realized that, and because he realized that he preferred his life on Earth, he was able to break free and wake up. And that taught him to be grateful for the life he had and not think about the life that he could have had, because he realized that the life that he had was better. And apparently that's what Booster Gold is trying to do for Batman. He sent Skeet back in time. There's a bunch of talking heads here. But he sent Skeet back in time to make sure that the Waynes were not murdered. And that changed the past. And he wanted to allow this reality to exist, and for Batman to live in this reality so he could find out, again, throughout this book, find out how messed up Gotham is if Bruce Wayne's parents didn't die and he didn't become Batman. So that Bruce Wayne could know that the life he already had was the best life, that his life as Batman was the best life, and he could learn to be grateful for it. But I don't think this is something you put someone through. And I'm not familiar with the original story of Superman and hallucinating all that. I'm familiar with the retelling in the Justice League cartoon. I think Starro was involved with that. But it played out differently in that, because everything was perfect in Superman's dream, and he was super mad when he got out, because he basically had to lose Krypton twice. He lost it once for real, and then he was hypnotized or hallucinating that he was still there, that none of the stuff on Earth happened, that he always had lived on Krypton. He had that life again, and he had to give it up again to go back to his real life and fight Starro and fight the villains and save his team and all that stuff. So I prefer that retelling. I don't know if I like this idea that Superman is better off because Krypton was destroyed. Even if Superman is better off because Krypton was destroyed, if you could go back and save those billions of people, wouldn't you do it? Wouldn't you sacrifice your own, not even your life, but sacrifice that better version of your life for a lesser form of it? To save those billions of people, wouldn't you? If you could go back in time and save Thomas and Martha Wayne, wouldn't you do it? And even if the world gets all messed up and whatever's going on in this book, see how messed up it is? We got DC Nation. Just kidding. This is how messed up it is. Jokers running rampant. Craziness. If you could go back in time, though, and stop the Waynes from getting murdered, couldn't you go back in time and do other stuff to keep this reality from coming true? I don't know if I like this idea of you don't save people because somehow their death makes reality better. But this whole thing is messed up. The reality's been messed up. Booster Gold's decision, what he was trying to do for Bruce Wayne is really messed up. And Bruce Wayne, though, he says, I always felt that something was wrong with my life, that something was missing. I had dreams of falling into the darkness wearing a bat costume. He says something like that. I was falling into the darkness dressed like a bat. And that was the truth. That was the different reality that Booster Gold prevented. And so Booster Gold says, yeah, you're welcome. I've now taught you that this is not your best life. Your parents surviving is not the best version of reality. The best version of reality is the one that you already had. And that's supposed to be a good thing. But Batman doesn't think so, and he kills Skeet so that Skeet can't go back in time and get Thomas and Martha Wayne murdered again. Which I don't think this is the right thing to do. I don't think you murder a sentient robot. But on the other hand, this whole story is just messed up. I wouldn't trust this guy. If he thinks this kind of stuff is cool and okay, there's nothing about this that's cool and okay. But we're gonna find out what happens next time. I'm kind of curious to see how they work this out. They gotta fix all this, but there's no way to get out of this clean. I don't think this whole thing is just. It's not good. Don't do this, Booster Gold. This is bad. Don't do this stuff. Don't time travel, or well, I mean, you wouldn't be in the regular DC universe timeline with all the other characters if you hadn't time traveled there already. But don't be messing around with stuff like this. But anyway, I might be around to see what happens in issue 2. I'm not sold on it. Again, this feels like a kind of filler story. But if I see it, if the cover looks good, if I leaf through it and it looks okay, whoops, I might get it. So let me know what you guys think. Again, I kind of rambled on this video. I made another long one. But I feel more authentic on this than in my first recording. So we're going to work on being more concise, on figuring out what opinions people are interested in, what ones are just a little, a little too self-indulgent maybe. But we'll get there. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, and I'll cover. I got some more comics I want to cover too that I'm a little bit excited about. So we'll go over those next. I'll surprise you guys. Well, why should I surprise you? I think we'll see. We'll see how this all works out. You know what? Nope, I am gonna surprise you because I'm gonna surprise myself. I've only read one of my other books so far that I got, but I don't know if I want to cover that one next or not. I might read something else and cover that instead. But we'll see. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this review, about the book itself, or anything else. And I'll catch you down there. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.